you, Anna.
Hi, thank you. Well, I haven't prepared any presentation because we haven't properly started the project itself. But I'm going to just present what we are going to be working on. So the project is titled On Track of Ammonia. It's a cross-validation of satellite and ground level measurements. So I'm going to be the PI of this project. I'm Anna Fon, working for Imperial College London. And we have as co-PIs, we have Barry Latter from STFC RAL Space, and we have Tom Kirkham from STFC Hartree Centre. And our mentor is Rod Jones from the University of Cambridge. So what we are going to look at our scoping project, first of all, is we are going to evaluate the monthly and the annual variability of ammonia observed by ground level measurements and from satellite data. So for the ground level measurements, we are going to use two data sources. One is going to be the DEFRA ammonia network that it has a total of 88 sites measuring ammonia concentrations at ground level measurements, and that's a resolution of monthly data. And then we are going to look at the NERC-OSCA ammonia concentrations that they are measuring high time resolution of ammonia at hourly since 2019. And for the satellite data, we are going to use the CRIS instrument on board of the SWAMI NPP platform. So we are going to look at the temporal variability, but also we are going to look at the geographical distribution of ammonia concentrations in the UK, and we are going to evaluate any possible trends since 2019. So why we're interested in ammonia? It's a precursor of PM2.5 concentrations, and obviously that has an impact on the air quality, and eventually on the human health. So far, there's no regulation of ammonia emissions at all in the UK, but in 2018, the UK, the government published a best practice to reduce ammonia concentrations from agricultural activities. That's going to be a challenge project in the sense that we are comparing two data sets that they're quite different at some point. And the satellite data is measuring ground level concentrations of ammonia. Most of the ammonia concentrations, obviously, the emissions take place at the surface, but we don't know how satellite data, how sensitive is actually from these emissions taken at ground level. Also, satellite data, well, we have two measurements a day, but especially from polar satellites. So they are crossing this one, the SWAMI satellite, it's crossing the equator at 1:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. And for terms of ammonia concentration, we can just use the daylight measurements at 1:30 p.m. So if we are lucky, we can have like maybe one measurement a day, but sometimes we have clouds, we have some interference, so we cannot properly use the observations that we are obtaining. So, well, we are going to evaluate anyway how the satellite measurements are actually sensitive from ground level emissions. So, as I said, we haven't properly started. We're still waiting for to get the contract signed, and also to get the letters of agreement between the institutions. But well, next Friday we're going to have a kickoff meeting with us and Imperial and STFC Rally Space, and we are going to talk about which satellite data products we are going to use, because satellite data have different levels. So we have been discussing that we are going to use level 2 data. So it's actually the single satellite observations that they are coming from the satellite data itself, but we have to correct for the field of view, and also we have to correct if they are cloud-free or not cloud-free. Or if we are going to use level 3 data, that is actually graded latitude, longitude concentrations, that there might be more easy to use, but maybe, I mean, we are losing quite a lot of information from ground level emissions. So yeah, we are going to see how we are going to start with data comparison of the two data sets. And that will be me.